Hello. First of all, I want to give you a huge apology for the way last night went. Um, there is no denying it was not the way I had hoped nor intended. But what I know is that we are amazing people in how we can be flexible and how we can be helpful and supportive. So I'm going to try and record everything I think you need so that I know you're in a comfortable place. So I'm going to start with Blackboard. I'm going to switch over to the PowerPoint and do the short lecture. This will probably be in two pieces, so you'll have two videos to look at. So let's get started. This is your classroom. You'll notice there's a lineup of links on the left-hand side, and further in, you see the material that's covered. The first part is what is leadership. You'll also notice that after the learning outcomes and the summary of unit activities in what we call the overview is a short video. It's 50 seconds long. I call it a coming attraction, and it's an opportunity to kind of say, here's what's coming your way. It isn't as effective for some people as it is for others, but I do want you to have access to it. Here are your readings. Notice it says about 135 minutes, but each reading is followed by the amount of pages, so you can take time and figure out. My strongest suggestion is don't read this as if you're going to be tested on it. Read it for content. And if you feel like some things you want to skim, there are no tests in our program, so just make sure that you have a working understanding. And remember, you can always return to it. Under the lecture, you'll see the PowerPoint, you'll see the Leadership Development Action Plan template. Those are there. When I finish this video, I'm going to put the video right under PowerPoint week 1. So you'll have a voiced over version and you will have this version. There's your two videos. I urge you to go back and watch Drew Dudley again. But David Marquette's What is Leadership is really interesting. A lot of students have found that his use of animation makes this just come to life. David Marquette wrote a great book about the language of leadership. So if you're ever in a mood and you'd like to try a different book, let me know and I will certainly loan it to you. Here's our discussion board. We talked about this last night. I would like you to get in the habit of having this done by Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. But this week and next week, I'm not going to take off any points if it's late. I want you to get used to the process. So here's just getting to know you. It's very simple. Then what is a leadership assignment? If you click on this, we talked about the paper of no more than 3 pages. And if you go to 4 pages, I'm not going to have find fault with that. But I want you to get used to keeping things short. So if you click on this, you notice what comes up is you can write the submission right in here if you wanted, which nobody wants to do that. If you browse your computer here, it will allow you to select whatever your document is. And then once you've done that, it will show up and then you can put a comment here if you want, and then you hit submit. When you hit submit, it will be uploaded. You can also check it to see if in fact it went through. Your final project is what we talked about. That's the template for the leadership development plan. Now notice this personal leadership plan says 60 minutes. It's starting to give you 60 minutes a week out of that whole 12 hours or 9 hours, counting the class. So whatever you decide how you break this up, but starting in week 3, you will submit pieces of this. Now let's go back up here and let's just look at some of the other pieces. There's your weekly units. The discussion calendar shows your due dates. And we're going to scroll down. Your grades are going to be here. And what it will show you when you look at my grades are all the things that are coming up. And notice the due dates. Whoa, and look at that due date there. That's out of whack. So that means I've got to go in and correct that, which I will. So you see all of these. And again, remember, there are plenty of things that go amiss. When something goes amiss, if you don't like what you see, send a note to me. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We are flawed beings. So if you point something out, it only means that I can help a student to have an easier time. So I'll never find fault with that. Now, if you go down here, eventually you're going to see in the grade center, this will be where your grades will all be recorded. When you submit something in the way I showed you, where you clicked on the assignment and then it showed you where you could browse your computer and upload something, it's going to show up for me in needs grading. When I grade things, it will show up with a final grade for each assignment in Full Grade Center. That includes discussion boards. So that's all I'm going to show you in here right now. You already know that there's plenty of announcements. And I gave you a welcome. Here's our embedded librarian. That's Cindy. And I mentioned that you would have some notes from her. There's also resources that I gave you. And if you go down here, you'll see welcome to the MSOL program. And it tells you a little bit about everything. So that is, at this point, that's all we're going to talk about in terms of Blackboard. Now, I am going to stop this and I will start another recording which will just be for you for the lecture that we missed last night. I want to thank you for your patience. Take care.